How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Garcia, and a lot has happened in the last 12 hours. If you watched the game last night, a somber win for this New York Yankee team. Honestly, I would have traded a win for Michael King to be healthy any day of the week. The guy was absolutely stellar, but right now we want to discuss Juan Soto because Jack Curry, who is one of the more reliable sources for the Yankees and news regarding their team, did tweet that the Yankees have reached out to express interest in acquiring Juan Soto. Now it's a matter of the Nationals telling the Yankees and other teams what they want for a generational talent. It's early in the process. Both sides must determine if there's a match in terms of talent exchange. So everything that's been coming out over the last couple of days, all the suggestions and the ideas of different prospect packages seem to be a little bit irrelevant now because it seems like they kind of are just starting to get this process going. And if Juan Soto is really in the view for the Yankees, they're going to have to give up a lot to acquire him. And now losing King, I definitely want to discuss how that impacts general manager Brian Cashman's kind of path forward. Are you going to just kind of throw the entire Juan Soto sweepstakes out of the window because you lost King and now you have to give up other prospects to get bullpen arms? Maybe not. We're going to follow this episode up with another one of Michael King and some replacements for him and what those look like. But Juan Soto's the real deal. The desire for him is real. Brian Cashman is expressing interest in acquiring him. Now, is there a world where, the Yankees are like, let's trade Aaron Judge for him and just do a swap and then you don't have to pay? I think that's ridiculously stupid to even consider. But I think that you're looking more like a package of Anthony Volpe, Oswald Peraza, Jason Dominguez, and probably more to go with it. And you're going to have to take on the contract of Patrick Corbin. I wouldn't touch the contract of Steven Strasburg. At least you're getting somebody in return for Patrick Corbin. What are your thoughts on Juan Soto? What are your thoughts on this desire being real?
So first off, as you mentioned, well wishes to Michael King. I hope that I hope that it's as least bad as possible, but that looks really bad. So I'm imagining that worst case scenario for him or best case scenario for him is that he maybe can pitch mid in October. But kind of focusing here on Soto, I can't really. It's really difficult to kind of think of a package, right? Because the Nationals are in a weird spot. Like if you counter offer the Yankees with something, right? How do the Yankees say no to whatever offer you're gonna, really ask for, right? I mean, if I'm the Yankees, if I'm general manager Brian Cashman, I don't know what I wouldn't give up for Juan Soto in that farm. Volpe provides safety for the Nationals. He's one of the lower risk top prospects in baseball because he has a great contact tool, great power. He's a good enough defender. He's a good base runner. Sorry, crazy night last night. But Juan Soto is just, he is so much better than any other player we've ever seen hit the market. So it's going to be interesting to see how Brian Cashman kind of evaluates his form, whether the Nationals view the Yankees as a team, as you mentioned, if there's a talent fit there, right? Do the Nationals really like the Yankee prospects? Because if they like a guy like Volpe, if they like a guy like Peraza, Dominguez, whoever it may be, then you're going to have a fit and you can see yourself putting a deal together. I think the Curry tweet kind of takes us out of fantasy land, right? Where it's no longer we're just sitting here speculating and daydreaming. Now this is real. And I think that's an important first step where now we know this is real. Unlike with Correa, where it felt like Correa wasn't real, it was more so like us just like, hey, he's a good shortstop and the Yankees can use a shortstop, or even any of the big shortstops. This is now feeling real. There is real interest there. The Yankees there's a real market, and the Yankees are really actually into Juan Soto. We'll see if the Yankees can get a deal done. We'll see whether, other teams step in and become more aggressive. But, man, this becoming real is huge. I don't want people to underestimate. Yes, you may give up the chance to get a Luis Castillo, but Juan Soto is a generational player. Luis Castillo is great, but he's not a top 5 player in baseball.
Yeah, look, this is a guy that would revolutionize this team for the rest of this year offensively. Now, the biggest problem for the Yankees is not the outfield. It's not shortstop. It is the starting rotation and bullpen. This team can score runs with the current roster that they currently have. But the problem is, do they have a starting pitcher who can help Garrett Cole get through a series? Can we trust Jameson Taillon right now? Absolutely not. Can we trust Luis Severino? Maybe. I don't even want to say I can go as far as trusting him. I trust Jordan Montgomery to be a 3 guy, but we don't have a 2 guy right now. Nestor Cortez, we'll see how he goes the rest of the season, but this is a lot of innings for him to pitch. He has never gone this many innings. He's going to smash his personal best by probably 50 innings this year. His arm's going to be a noodle by the time the postseason comes around. So can we trust him? He's never pitched in a big moment like that before. I don't think we can. That's kind of where we sit right now. Is the starting rotation needs a Luis Castillo, it needs a Frankie Montas, it needs somebody who's going to come in there, has the experience pitching 150 plus innings, and has experience pitching in big moments, or at least consistently in against good teams and dominating. We saw what Luis Castillo just did to the Yankees. He completely just demoralized them. This is a team that needs pitching right now. Juan Soto is a superstar. He is 23 years old. He's going to be amazing for the next 10 to 15 freaking years. He probably has more longevity than Aaron Judge, and I think that's pretty much like universally thought out argument to make, that he is going to be better for longer than Aaron Judge. Judge has been great this year and last year, and then back in 2018. Had a couple injury-riddled seasons there. But I think Juan Soto, in when we look at it 10 years from now, Juan Soto is going to be the better player on paper than Aaron Judge. That's what Brian Cashman is thinking. Juan Soto is a lab-grown slugger for the Yankees. He is like the perfect player for them. So Cashman, we know what he does when he sees guys like this. We know what happens when there's a Giancarlo Stanton out there that's a team is willing to trade. He goes out and gets them because he knows how much better they make the team, but also because they fit the analytical mold. Thing is, Cashman's been diligently building this farm system for many years now. Is he willing to tear it all apart for a singular player and compromise the future of this team at multiple positions? Because you're going to have to extend Soto in 2025, I believe it is. So you get another 2-3 years out of him. But at the end of the day, there's a short window over the next 2 to 3 years where the Yankees have a really good opportunity to win a couple World Series if they play their cards right. But right now, losing Michael King is just too big of a problem to ignore. You're going to have to go out and get him. So we'll discuss a really good option for them, a couple of them in the next video. But, Juan Soto, man, this is very real interest. This is a guy who's going to be elite for the next 10 years, and not expressing interest, not seeing what he would cost would be malpractice, in my opinion. I imagine you agree with that sentiment, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned the Yankees need starting pitching. The way I see it is, if you get a Juan Soto, if Jordan Montgomery's on the mound or Luis Severino's on the mound in Game 2, I imagine that you have a more evened out pitching matchup than we may think, because whatever pitcher that the Yankees are facing has a tougher task than whatever lineup our pitcher is facing. Like, for context, like Montgomery has a 3.24 ERA in the season. Montas is at 3.16. If you're facing Montas, let's say he gets traded to a good team, you're putting up two guys with similar ERAs. Montas has better stuff, so I would take Montas in terms of a pitcher, but Montas has to navigate through a Judge, Soto, and Stanton. I don't know if any team has a Judge, Soto, and Stanton kind of situation going for them. Astros are close with Alvarez, Tucker, and the Altuves or the Bregmans of the world, but I don't know, man. I would take Soto and kind of hold out faith that your pitching can hold up. But you do need a reliever. I think we agree there. You definitely need a reliever. King is hurt, and King is your second best reliever. You need a reliever because you're right now. Even yesterday, the Yankees had 7 relievers in their bullpen. You typically carry 8 with a 26-man roster, and it's not even 7. It's 6 or 5, right? Because Chapman is absolutely horrific, right? He cannot be on. I'll get more into that in the King talks, but the Yankees desperately need bullpen help. You can't just, Marinacio's coming back, and that's going to be great. And Marinacio topped out 97 in Double A. We haven't seen 97 consistently from him up here, so maybe there's a little bit of a velo tick. We know how he does against lefties and how he can handle righties as well with that slider and fastball. But Soto is just, you're right, it'd be malpractice to not try, right? And just like Stanton, it's like, maybe the team needs pitching a little bit more, but damn it, it's Juan Soto, or damn it, it's Giancarlo Stanton. You got to just make that move, because they're them, they're that guy, they got that dog in them, if we want to use that term. Juan Soto, I don't know if you remember the home run he hit off of Verlander in that World Series. David Ortiz told a story that apparently Chirinos is arguing the call at the umpire, and Soto says, "You want to see a pitch in the zone? Throw me one in the zone, and I'll show you where the strike zone is." And he does, and Soto hits that ball into a different planet. So this guy's got confidence, he's got swagger, he's the best hitter in baseball, arguably. I couldn't think of a better fit for this team. Right, like, who could you possibly imagine in Major League Baseball you'd rather have on your team than Juan Soto if you're the Yankees or any team, right? This guy is, the guy, and it's still crazy to me at the Nationals even entertaining selling him. I think that's absolutely horrific for them, but for the Yankees, go all in, man. Go figure out the pitching later. Hell, maybe you might have some prospects left over and you can still get a Castillo or a Montas, but figure it out with Soto first, and then you go elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, look, we see NBA teams do it all the time. They sell the farm for guys, and it's just a reoccurring process. Like 5 years from now, the Yankees can say, you know what, let's trade Soto and get some of our prospects back. Or you never know what's going to happen. Maybe they have a big guy coming up. You got Spencer Jones a couple years away. Some really good guys they can probably keep and hope to become something special. But I'll tell you what, the Juan Soto situation is like if you're at a bar and you see this absolutely beautiful girl, and you decide, if I don't take this shot right now, look at the Wayne Gretzky quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and if you don't take that shot, no way you're getting that date. Maybe she wants a Louis Vuitton bag, but maybe you're gonna get that date too. So Juan Soto is like that beautiful girl at the bar that you just look at. You're like, you gotta express interest, otherwise you never know what it's gonna take to actually get the date. And this is where the Yankees stand right now. Now the problem is your old girlfriend Michael King just got hit by a car, and now you're like, crap. What do I do now? This turned really dark really quickly, but you know what I mean. This is like a really strange situation for the Yankees where they need to figure out exactly how much they're willing to give up and how much interest they have in Juan Soto, who's now sitting at the bar and available.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a partner get Michael Kinged, but I will say Juan Soto is, yeah, he is the prize, the crown jewel. He is the creme de la creme. He is the greatest player I've seen available on the market in my lifetime, probably since A-Rod, right? Like, you just think available in his prime, in his youth, it's probably since A-Rod. Stanton was great, don't get me wrong. Maybe Stanton has kind of a stake in that claim, but Soto is just generational, right? And he's a lefty too. When's the last time a lefty has been this available on the market? As a five, I understand what it's like to have to shoot out of your league. But Soto is, man, I can't. It's just still crazy that it's real. It's crazy that Jack Curry is reporting that it's real, right? That still doesn't feel real to me. But you just pray at this point. Maybe they like Volpe more than the other guys. Maybe they like Peraza more than the second tier prospects teams are offering. Maybe like Dominguez a little bit. Dominguez actually had a home run last night. His first home run in high A. And Duar hit 40 doubles once. But seriously though, you got to just hope and pray the Nationals like your guys more than the other guys, because that's really all you can do at this point. You can just submit your best offer, hope they counter offer, and they like what you have and that they're willing to engage in greater talks with you. But yeah, it's still preliminary. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Soto's a Yankee or Soto's definitely going to be a Yankee. It's a great chance. We'll see what happens after exchange names, but this is still a good first step.
It absolutely is, guys. But we'd love to hear your perspectives below in the YouTube comments about Juan Soto. Do you think that this is realistic? Do you think it's possible? Clearly, Cashman is expressing interest, and he is interested in potentially giving up a big haul for Soto. This is very real, guys. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated on any new developments here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, as always, for constant updates, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.